Welcome, dear brothers and sisters. Today is Monday, October 13th, and as we rise into this new morning, I want you to pause for just a moment. Take a breath, let the noise settle, because what we are about to step into together is not merely a prayer, it is a doorway. A doorway out of the prison that so many of us have been living in without even realizing it. The prison of anger. The prison of bitterness, the prison of unforgiveness. And my friend, if you have ever felt the weight of resentment sitting on your chest like a stone, if you have ever replayed a conversation 1,000 times in your mind, if you have ever felt your heart harden just a little more each day, then this word is for you. This morning, we are going to talk about something that the enemy does not want us to touch. He does not want us to release it. He does not want us to be free from it. Because as long as we hold on to anger, as long as we nurse that wound, as long as we feed that fire, we remain chained. But today, my friend, today we are going to learn how to turn that anger into forgiveness. And in doing so, we are going to step into a freedom so profound, so complete, that it will feel like you are breathing for the first time in years. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly felt free? Not free from responsibilities, not free from work or obligations, but free in your soul. Free from the weight of what someone said. Free from the memory of what they did. Free from the rehearsing of all the ways you were wronged. If you cannot remember the last time you felt that kind of freedom, then my friend, it is time. It is time to lay it down. It is time to release it. It is time to let God do what only He can do. Because here is the truth that we need to understand today. Anger is not the problem. Anger is the symptom. Anger is the alarm system that tells us something has been violated. Something has been broken. Something needs attention. But when we hold on to that anger, when we let it fester and grow and take root, it stops being a signal and it becomes a stronghold. And that stronghold will keep you from the very thing that God is trying to bring you into. Think about this past week. Think about the moments when anger bubbled up inside of you. Maybe it was in traffic. Maybe it was at work. Maybe it was in your own home, with the people you love the most. Maybe it was something small, something that should not have mattered, but it triggered something deeper, something older, something that has been sitting there, unresolved, for months or even years. And in that moment, you felt it. That heat, that tightness, that familiar rush of adrenaline. And you said something you wish you had not said. Or you thought something you wish you had not thought. Or you withdrew, you shut down, you built the wall just a little bit higher. My friend, I am not here to judge you for that. I am here to tell you that God sees it. He sees the wound beneath the anger. He sees the hurt beneath the hardness. And He is not standing there with His arms crossed, disappointed in you. He is standing there with His arms open, ready to heal you. Because here is what we need to understand. Anger, in and of itself, is not sin. Even God gets angry. The scriptures are full of His righteous anger against injustice, against oppression, against the abuse of the innocent. But there is a difference between righteous anger that moves us toward justice and toxic anger that moves us toward bitterness. There is a difference between anger that says, "This is wrong and I will work to make it right," and anger that says, "I will make them pay. I will hold this against them. I will never let them forget." That kind of anger, my friend, that kind of anger will destroy you from the inside out. It will poison your relationships. It will steal your joy. It will keep you locked in a moment that has already passed, while the rest of your life moves on without you. So let me speak directly to that place in your heart right now. the place that is still holding on to what they said, the place that is still replaying what they did, the place that is still rehearsing all the reasons why you have a right to be angry. I am not here to tell you that your anger is invalid. I am not here to tell you that what happened to you did not matter. I am here to tell you that holding on to it is costing you more than you realize. It is costing you your peace. It is costing you your freedom. It is costing you the fullness of what God wants to give you today. And my friend, you were not created to live in that prison. You were created to live in freedom. You were created to live in lightness. You were created to live in the wide open space of God's grace. Now I know what some of you are thinking. You are thinking, but you do not understand what they did. You do not understand how deep the wound goes. You do not understand how many times they hurt me. And you are right. I do not know your specific story. I do not know the details of your pain. But I know this. I know that God does. I know that He was there when it happened. I know that He saw every moment. I know that He collected every tear. And I know that He is not asking you to forgive because what happened was okay. He is asking you to forgive because holding on to it is killing you. He is asking you to forgive because He wants to set you free. He is asking you to forgive because forgiveness is not about them. It is about you. Let me say that again, because this is critical. Forgiveness is not about them. It is about you. Forgiveness does not mean that what they did was acceptable. Forgiveness does not mean that there are no consequences. Forgiveness does not mean that you have to trust them again or let them back into your life. Forgiveness means that you are releasing them from the debt that they owe you. You are taking them off of your hook and you are putting them on God's hook. You are saying, Lord, I cannot carry this anymore. I cannot be their judge. I cannot be their jury. I cannot be their executioner. So I am giving this to you. I am trusting you to do what only you can do. And in doing that, I am setting myself free. Because here is the beautiful mystery of forgiveness, my friend. When you forgive, you are not setting them free. You are setting yourself free. You are cutting the chain that has been binding you to that person, to that moment, to that pain. And the moment you cut that chain, you will feel something shift. You will feel something lift. You will feel something break open inside of you that has been closed for so long. And that, my friend, that is the beginning of freedom. That is the beginning of healing. That is the beginning of the life that God has been waiting to give you. Now let me show you what God does when we bring our anger to Him. Let me show you the divine exchange that takes place when we surrender our right to hold on to bitterness. Because this is not just about letting go. This is about receiving something in return. This is about trading our anger for His peace. This is about trading our bitterness for His compassion. This is about trading our hardness for His tenderness. God does not just take things away from us. He replaces them. He fills the space with something infinitely better. And when we give Him our anger, He gives us His heart. He gives us His capacity to love the unlovable. He gives us His ability to extend grace to the undeserving. He gives us His supernatural power to bless those who have cursed us. And I want you to understand something. This is not weakness. This is not passivity. This is not rolling over and letting people walk all over you. This is strength. This is courage. This is the most powerful thing you can do. Because anyone can stay angry. Anyone can hold a grudge. Anyone can build a wall and refuse to let it down. That takes no strength at all. What takes strength is choosing to forgive when every fiber of your being wants to hold on. What takes courage is choosing to release when everything in you is screaming for revenge. What takes power is choosing to love when you have every reason to hate. And that, my friend, that is the power of God working in you. Let me tell you what happens when we choose forgiveness. Let me tell you what shifts in the spiritual realm when we make that decision. First, we break the cycle. We break the cycle of hurt breeding more hurt. We break the cycle of pain breeding more pain. We break the cycle of bitterness passing from one generation to the next. Because if we do not forgive, we will pass our wounds onto our children. We will teach them, by example, that holding on to anger is normal. We will show them, through our actions, that bitterness is acceptable. And they will grow up thinking that this is just the way life is. But when we choose to forgive, when we choose to release, when we choose to let God heal us, we break that cycle. We stop the generational pattern. We create a new legacy. A legacy of grace. A legacy of mercy. A legacy of freedom. Second, we open the door for God to work. As long as we are holding on to anger, as long as we are trying to manage the situation ourselves, as long as we are playing God in someone else's life, we are blocking His hand. We are getting in the way of what He wants to do. But the moment we release it, the moment we step back and say, God, this is yours, this is too heavy for me, I trust you to handle this, that is when He can move. That is when He can intervene. That is when He can bring about the justice, the restoration, the redemption that only He can bring. And my friend, His justice is so much better than ours. His restoration is so much more complete than anything we could orchestrate. His redemption is so much more beautiful than any revenge we could dream up. Third, we position ourselves to receive. You cannot receive with a clenched fist. You cannot be filled when you are already full of bitterness. You cannot experience the fullness of God's love when your heart is hardened with resentment. But when you open your hands, when you release what you have been holding on to, when you make space in your heart, that is when God can pour in. That is when He can fill you with His peace that passes understanding. That is when He can flood you with His joy that is unspeakable. That is when He can saturate you with His love that casts out all fear. And my friend, what He gives you is so much greater than what you are giving up. Now I want to speak to those of you who are thinking, I have tried to forgive. I have tried to let it go, but it keeps coming back. Every time I think I am over it, something triggers me and all the anger comes flooding back. My friend, that is normal. That is part of the process. Forgiveness is not a one-time event. Forgiveness is a journey. It is a decision that we make over and over again. Every time the memory resurfaces, we choose to forgive again. Every time the pain flares up, we choose to release again. Every time the bitterness tries to take root, we choose to surrender again. And slowly, over time, the grip loosens, the pain lessens, the memory loses its power. And one day, you will realize that you can think about it without feeling that tightness in your chest. You will realize that you can talk about it without feeling that heat rising in your throat. You will realize that you are finally, truly free. And let me tell you about the faithfulness of God in this process. Let me tell you about His constancy, His patience, His unwavering commitment to your healing. Because God is not like the people who hurt you. He is not inconsistent. He is not unreliable. He is not going to abandon you halfway through. He is the source that never runs dry. He is the well that never empties. He is the fountain that never stops flowing. And every time you come to Him with your anger, every time you bring Him your bitterness, every time you lay it at His feet, He is there. He is ready. He is willing. He is able. He does not grow tired of your struggle. He does not become impatient with your process. He does not roll his eyes and say, "Again, we have been through this already." No, my friend, he meets you with the same compassion, the same grace, the same love, every single time. Think about the people in your life who have been your sources of supply. Think about the ones you have leaned on, the ones you have counted on, the ones you have gone to when you needed help. And think about how, at some point, they let you down. Not because they are bad people, but because they are human. They are finite. They have limits. They can only give so much before they are depleted. But God, my friend, God has no limits. God cannot be depleted. God cannot run out. He is the infinite source. He is the eternal supply. He is the inexhaustible reservoir of everything you need. And when it comes to forgiveness, when it comes to healing, when it comes to freedom, He has more than enough. More than enough grace for your situation. More than enough power for your pain. More than enough love for your wounds. So here is what I want you to do. Right now, in this moment, I want you to bring it to Him. I want you to name it. I want you to say it out loud, if you can. I want you to say, "God, I am angry at this person. I am hurt by what they did. I am bitter about what happened, and I cannot carry this anymore. I do not want to carry this anymore. So I am giving it to you. I am releasing them from my judgment. I am putting them in your hands. I am choosing to forgive, not because I feel like it, not because they deserve it, but because you have called me to freedom. And I want to be free. I want to live in the lightness of your grace. I want to walk in the spaciousness of your love. So take this from me, Lord. Take this anger, take this bitterness, take this resentment, and replace it with your peace. Replace it with your compassion. Replace it with your heart. And as you pray that prayer, as you release that burden, I want you to know that something is shifting right now. Something is breaking in the spiritual realm. Chains are falling off. Walls are coming down. Prison doors are swinging open. And you, my friend, you are stepping into a freedom that you have not known in a long time. This is not just a nice idea. This is not just a positive thought. This is the power of God moving in your life right now. This is the grace of God doing what only He can do. This is the love of God transforming your heart from the inside out. So I want to encourage you today. I want to remind you that you do not have to stay stuck. You do not have to stay angry. You do not have to stay bitter. There is a way out. There is a door open. There is a path to freedom. And it starts with forgiveness. It starts with releasing. It starts with trusting God to do what only He can do. Will it be easy? No. Will it happen overnight? Probably not. Will it be worth it? Absolutely. Because on the other side of forgiveness is a life that is lighter, freer, more joyful, more peaceful, more whole. And that, my friend, is what God wants for you. That is what He has always wanted for you. That is what He is inviting you into today. If this word has spoken to your heart, if you feel that stirring inside of you, that invitation to let go and step into freedom, then I want to encourage you to take the next step. Subscribe to this channel, because we are going to continue this journey together. We are going to continue exploring what it means to live in the fullness of God's grace. We are going to continue discovering the freedom that comes from surrendering to Him. And I want you to share this with someone who needs to hear it. Someone who is stuck. Someone who is struggling. Someone who is holding on to anger and needs to know that there is a way out. Be that bridge of hope for them today. And most importantly, take action. Choose one person, one situation, one wound, and make the decision to forgive. Say the words, release the burden, and watch what God does. My friend, today is the day. Today is Monday, October 13th, and today is the day that you turn your anger into forgiveness and step into the freedom that has been waiting for you all along.